going, friends? Zig coming in at the top of the interview here. This episode has Ken Volpe from the Wounded Heroes Project, or Wounded Heroes Fund, I should say. He's the founder of the Wounded Heroes. And the story we're getting into in the podcast here. Ken is having an event today, the day this podcast drops. All those details are listed below, and we start off the interview coming off the top with that. And this is the first interview I was really trying to track someone down to get them to talk to him. I've worked with Ken for the last few years as a DJing his events, and I've seen this guy relentlessly help veterans. Ken, he gets into this, we get into the story about how he comes from a military family. Everyone in his family served, and he missed Nam. With all the veterans and families he's helped, he's definitely served in some way. When I got to Ken today, we've been going back and forth trying to get this interview together for a week to help push this event he's got happening tomorrow. But he's been recently diagnosed with cancer, and he's going in and out of chemo, and it takes a lot out of you. So I met him at the venue to set up, because I was going to DJ it, and Sea Level got called to do Bright Winter, so I got him hooked up so it can all be run there. But anyway, we're at the venue, we're setting up the gig, and he's like, all right, let's do the interview while we're setting this up. And I'm talking to him, and he's like, I'm tired, which going through that, you're going to be tired. And then he's like, well, we're here, let's do it. So it's kind of a rush thing. I had a whole thing written out, and we just kind of went through it. He tells a lot of stories, one about my uncle that got cut out, but it was a goodie. But anyway, friends, thank you for listening. This is kind of a heavy one, but a good one. So here we go with Ken from Wounded Heroes. And before we go to Ken from Wounded Heroes, I just want to put out that he's got a GoFundMe to help his battle with cancer. That's also linked below. If you guys could help this guy, he's been helping out so many. It'd be awesome. Vibration. Alright, it should be good now. Alright, Zig At The Gig podcast. I'm talking with Ken. We take the sights and sounds of Cleveland and give a voice to it. Ken from Wounded Heroes, Berea. How you doing, Ken?
I'm doing good.
Doing good. So tomorrow, Saturday, February 22nd, you're having an event here in Berea.
We're having a reverse raffle at the Father Garrity Center at St. Mary's Church in Berea, Ohio. It's to benefit soldiers that have been wounded in combat. On May 12th of 2012, my phone rang at 8:30 in the morning. It was my daughter from Seattle. Before I even picked it up, I knew there was something wrong, because no way would she be awake at 5:30 in the morning. And she proceeded to tell me that my son-in-law was a casualty of war. He got his leg blown off and stepped on an IED.
So he wasn't a casualty, but he was a...
Well, it's like a speech that they read at the other end of the phone.
Gotcha.
They're not allowed to deviate from the speech.
Yeah? So it's verbatim that for everybody?
Yeah, so he was shipped to from Iraq to Germany and then back to the States, and he was at Walter Reed Medical Center for 27 months.
Yeah.
We were there for 6 hours the first day. When I got to the parking garage, I looked at my wife and I said, we have to do something to give back to these soldiers. 80 rooms with no arms and no legs.
Yeah.
And that's when we came up with Wounded Heroes, and 100% of what we raise goes to a soldier in one form or another.
That's beautiful.
We give them money. We've landscaped houses. We bought cars, wheelchairs, whatever it takes.
So now this was all just from your son-in-law, or was this going through the halls and seeing...
This is going through the halls and seeing everybody.
Because I remember you told me that story probably like 3 years ago. We were doing the Berea, the car show.
The car show, yeah.
For home days. And how long have you guys been doing Wounded Heroes? When did you start this?
We established it in 2013.
2013. And did it always start off doing like car shows in the same events, or how long?
It just started out as anything that I could raise money at. It started out at the county fair and the
Yeah.
IX Center, and then we proceeded to go to the car shows, and now we got the reverse raffle, and we do a golf outing, and
Oh yeah. Where's that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
yeah, we do a golf outing on Father's Day weekend too.
That's awesome. What was the first event?
The first event was the car show downtown Berea on Father's
Yeah.
Day.
Was that with Flo?
That's what's flow, yeah.
And how'd that go?
That went great.
And
We're
like,
real good.
now was that the first type of car show you put together?
Yes.
Okay, so describe that process. Because that could not have been a. It's one thing to be motivated and be like inspired by all this, but to actually do it.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Believe me, this reverse raffle that we're having tomorrow night, I probably spent a month knocking on doors for donations.
That's a hard thing to do. Like that, you don't think about. I've done a few events, man, and when you have to get those donations, that
People's generosity overwhelms me, though, when you tell them it's for a soldier.
well,
It's amazing.
was it? And have you through the endorsements? Have you heard similar stories, or have people just been open-hearted and like heard your story?
Plenty of stories. And my son-in-law was fortunate enough to rehab with 2 quadruple amputees.
Yeah.
And one of them is Travis
Jeez.
Mills.
Yeah.
And I've never been so humbled in my life as the day I met Travis.
Yeah.
No arms, no legs. All he does is go out and speak, raise money.
Wow.
He's built a facility in Maine
Yeah. Is
to
that where
the
he's
tune
from?
of $6 million.
Jeez.
All donations.
Wow. And he's from Maine, I take it?
He's from Maine.
I was going to say, I don't know if I met him. I'm pretty sure I've met your son-in-law through the
Yeah.
years. And I know I've met your grandson, which I imagine
Right.
is his
Right.
his little. But wow. Okay, so
Well, there was a Ellen DeGeneres.
yeah.
Some lady won, I don't know, the Illinois or the Idaho lottery, and she went on Ellen, and
Yeah.
Ellen arranged for Travis Mills to be there,
Whoa.
and she donated $500,000
Whew. When was that?
about a year ago.
About a year ago. Ellen's pretty badass. She does some
Yeah,
cool stuff.
yeah.
She does some cool stuff.
Now somebody just donated $5 million.
Jeez. That's such an amazing. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay. Dave, I don't know if you know Dave Mortosh.
Dave Mortosh.
He's on 98.5.
Okay.
He's got an investment firm.
Yeah.
He got together with Travis and Trivisano. We did an 8-hour show.
Whew.
Dave Mortosh is matching all of the donations up to $1 million.
Wow.
So,
From recent, like this coming
3
one? or
months ago.
3 months ago?
It's still in existence.
That's
They're
awesome.
still raising money.
All right, where can people go to help that out?
You would call Dave Mortosh.
Dave Mortosh? Okay, I'll plug
Mortosh
everything at the end here. Mortosh. Wow, man. So from going door to door, just getting all these people to go for this first car show and bring baskets and raffle off, because that does a huge amount. That's a lot of legwork. That's a lot of meeting people. That's a lot of shaking hands, learning their stories, them learning your story.
Right.
How did it branch from that? Because it's stressful enough just to get people to show up to one thing and have fun, to Dave Mortosh getting involved. Was it just through the grapevine?
It's all word of mouth.
All word of mouth. Because I know a lot of people that they want to do good, and like you're living it, man. You've been relentless. Like I can depend on 3 times a year hearing from you, knowing
Right.
that I'm going to be doing that gig,
Right.
which I've never been more proud or more happy to do.
This is the greatest thing I've ever done in my life.
Was it? I mean, I don't even know where you're going with that. That's an amazing statement for sure. And you're still doing it. And
I'm still doing it. Till
so,
the day I die.
Beautiful. And so going back to when this first inspiration came, after you guys visited him for your son-in-law for 6 hours, you said, or you were waiting
First
for
day
6,
was 6 hours.
and like seeing how just like wrecked it was. What now? Wounded Heroes is your own foundation,
That's
right?
correct.
And it's not Wounded Heroes Berea. It's
No,
just Wounded
Just
Heroes.
the Wounded Heroes.
Okay.
The price of freedom, yeah.
Oh, Price of Freedom at the end of that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's a big thing. 'Cause when I was like looking at everything to put all the information with this interview to plug it, I kept having to put Berea, but
Right.
Price of Freedom. Okay. So did the amount of because there's like Wounded Warriors and other facilities.
Well, there's all kinds of them. If you go on the internet and you look up Wounded Warriors, you're going to find more than 50 of them.
Yeah. They have like different sanctions and stuff, right?
Right. And what you want to do if you're going to make a donation to someplace like my organization or another nonprofit organization, you want to stay local.
Yeah.
With your VFWs, your American Legions, your disabled veterans, your locals. Like Wounded Warrior Project, they raise $300 million a year, and only 32 cents out of every dollar goes to a soldier.
Yeah.
The rest is administrative costs.
Yeah, when you get big like that, it has to cycle down. You got to keep that thing going.
Like I've been driving around in my pickup truck selling raffle tickets.
Yeah.
I pay for every penny of gas. Probably use 10 tanks of gas to drive around and sell 200 tickets. And I sold 190 of them myself.
Ba-boom. Ba-boom, man.
Yeah.
That's the inspiration when it comes to when you want to make a change. It comes down to you. You know what I mean? That one person does it. Right. There's always groups of people that say they can do a thing and make a movement. And when you're in a group, you feel great like you're doing a thing. But when it really comes down to it, the only person that's going to move anything is the individual. It's you.
That's right.
And that's what's going to inspire the other people to do whatever they're inspired to do and move whatever they're going to move is what they do.
Right.
But seeing one person and be able to say, I know Ken, and I see how hard he hustles and how much he does for those soldiers is going to move way more people than wounded whatever the organization will ever will. The individual is always going to inspire more than the group. And as a teacher, I give that spiel a lot to my kids. I try to get them to get involved and do things and like do things their own. So like talking to someone like you who's been doing it is a huge thing. Now,
and I'd love to come to your class, just so you know.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe we can work something out. We'll figure out how we can do that.
All right.
I can have them like play for a group here or something. Man, I lost my train of thought. So did you ever do any service time?
No, I missed it by 2 months.
Missed it by 2 months?
Vietnam War died. Was over 2 months before I graduated.
Did your family, father?
My brother was the Marine Corps. My father was the Navy. My uncle was airborne.
So everyone in the family.
Everyone's in the family.
How'd your dad and your brother make out?
They made out okay.
Beautiful.
Came home safe and sound.
Was it? And now I'm sure they'd be incredibly proud of what you've done.
I would hope so.
And
I never understood it though. My dad joined the Merchant Marines and he was afraid of the water.
Yeah.
After he got out of the Navy, he would never get on another boat.
Yeah.
Never. Not even a glass bottom boat in Florida.
Whoa. Jeez. Well, I mean, being on a boat in the Navy in any type of combat would be. You're rocking in a big boat and there's stuff going off. I would be terrified to be in a boat too. Wow. So, what after with your dad when he was done serving? What did he do?
My dad became a policeman in Berea.
Policeman in Berea?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Was it sergeant, lieutenant?
Just a patrolman. He didn't want headaches.
Okay. My uncle was a cop.
Really?
Yeah. Jim Brenders.
Whoa.
What?
Shut the mic off.
Okay, I'll cut that off. Hold on.
Well, I've known him 40 years.
You know Jim for 40 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my uncle.
Yeah, good guy.
That's crazy. Small world, man.
You're right, yeah.
Okay. That's so cool,
yeah,
man. My head's
Dude, I was tripping, dude.
Wow, dude. I've known you for years and we've never put that together.
No.
Wow. So grew up in Berea, right?
Right.
Okay. And since when did your dad come back and start working as a cop?
My dad became a cop in 1951.
1951.
They had a Studebaker that they shared. Three cops would drive the car. 8 hours apiece.
Yeah? Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow. And you didn't want to get in law enforcement
It didn't
at all?
pay enough.
Fair enough. That is a lot of work and it doesn't pay enough for sure. Now, what did that, your dad serving in the Army and serving as a cop, did that, enroll that type of, in your life, that type of, what's the word I'm looking for, seeing a code of ethics and,
Well, I grew up in the 70s.
Yeah.
And the code of ethics was I knew my dad in the shift changes. So I got away with a little bit more than everybody else. Just so you know, I've gotten 100 speeding tickets since I've been 16 years old. and have talked my way out of twice that many.
Bob boom, my friend.
Yeah.
All right. Well, knowing the guy in
I'm a very colorful individual.
What did you drive through high school? What's been the ride? It couldn't have always been that pickup truck.
No, I had a 70 Camaro, and then I had a Corvette, and real fast cars.
Well, that makes sense for these car shows, man. You're the one doing all the judging, so
Right.
Did that help?
Drive
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How's that come around? Any crazy stories from? Oh, Ken, you're doing this now?
Well, probably the fastest speeding ticket I got was doing 112 miles an hour down Front Street.
Front Street's not that long.
I was late for work.
What were you doing then? What were you?
I was a garbage man.
You were a garbage
for the
man?
city of Berea.
No way.
And if you got there on time,
Yeah.
you went out and you worked half day and got full day's pay.
Nice. were yeah.
So if you were there late, you had to work all day. So I got out 3/4 of the way to work, and I got pulled over, and then my garbage truck drove by me.
Oh, shit.
Stuff happens.
Yeah. Oh, man. How long did you do that?
A couple years.
Couple years.
It was the greatest job I ever had.
Yeah.
I guess 11 o'clock, I was home watching cartoons.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, I guess you know what you're doing. You're going there. You're moving stuff. You're putting it there. You're moving it there.
Yeah.
It's a clear gig. What'd you do after that?
I started my own landscaping company.
Okay. And is that what you're doing now?
Now I'm retired.
Okay. Because I was looking online and it's still up there. You can still call you. I
know. You can't get it off.
Oh man, it's weird. Websites are weird like that. Some things you gotta keep paying and be adamant for, but some things you can just throw up
Google
there.
keeps calling me and say, we want to update. I go, for what? I'm out of business.
Well, when did you do that? When did you retire?
About a year ago.
About a year ago. And was that
Age.
Okay.
I played in the dirt and worked on my tan for a living long enough.
Yeah, done with that, man.
Done with that.
Dude, all right. One thing I want to bring up, because you always, and this is just the character of you, and it's always inspired me. And, like, you'll call me, Ken. I see that. You'll call me and be like, hey, Dave, how's it going? I'm like, oh, not bad. How are you? And you'll hit me with something heavy that you've just gone through. You'll be like, boom, stroke. I got this gig coming up. Can you do it?
Right.
It's just heavy thing, and you just plow right through. And, like, that's a setback for so many people. But for you, you just, like, and kind of tying it back to, like, these figures in your life, like your brother and your dad and all the stuff you're doing for all these soldiers, does that kind of come from that?
Well, I was 25 years old, and my little brother committed suicide and murdered his girlfriend.
Fuck.
And it instilled something in me to basically become a workaholic.
Yeah.
I've always had to drive. My dad brought us up thinking when we were rich, but we were just well off because my dad worked 2 jobs.
Yeah.
And money's not a rare commodity. If you want to make money, you just go to job.
That's true. It's true.
Just
You
like
hustle
you.
it.
You need a little more cash, get another gig.
You know it, man. We hustle.
Yeah.
So is it like this kind of sense of having to like work just kind of filled this void, and it's always kept you mentally in the
Well, I like to
realm
buy things too. I like
yeah, those cars, those speeding tickets.
a lot of speeding tickets. I like fast cars, and I like dates and
yeah. So it was just this kind of drive though that is get you like, 'cause man, you hit me with some heavy stuff. For a guy that's gone through a stroke, I work with a lot of people in a lot of hospitals, and not hospitals, I should say, care facilities like with Flo, and like I see a lot of people that are in good shape, but there's that drive isn't there. That drive's something innate. There's something that comes from a lifetime of learning or genetics. Yeah. I don't know, but you, my friend, have always had it and have always hustled because you hit me up nonstop. These gigs always coming. Like I'm saying, I can depend, and I'll be there. I'll hook you up with whatever I can. But, like, you've always had this drive to do this. And, like, no matter, like, even with what you're going through now, which I don't know if you want to get into, it's totally cool if you don't want to, but you're still doing it.
Yeah, right now I've been diagnosed with cancer.
Which
it's in my liver. It's in my lungs. Yeah. And I'm on chemo. And it's in God's hands.
Well,
if God takes me, he takes me. And if he doesn't, then there's nothing I can do about it.
Then there's another gig.
And our generation, we're guinea pigs.
Yeah,
with
for sure.
even yours
Yeah,
as
no,
a younger man. I mean, the preservatives and stuff in food is even worse now than it was back
yeah,
then.
and there's no telling what it's gonna do until like years
Right.
down the road.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, look at Agent Orange in Vietnam. They
Yeah.
knew what they were doing.
That's a yeah.
They knew.
That's a little different than like a preservative and like
Right.
that's a way heavier thing. But for sure,
They knew.
they knew for sure.
But they didn't care.
No, was it Sorry, I just keep turning this up when you back it up, but it's cool. I got you. To feel free to do whatever. I got you. I'm just rolling the faders here.
Okay.
Because I think that's important though, that drive, to do something like you're doing, to help as many people as you have been helping for years, relentlessly, and it's
We did a thing this summer. He fell. His name is Chris Miller, and he's out of Canfield, Ohio. And he was in training, and he took a fall 75 feet off a cliff
yeah,
and broke his back. It gets around okay, but we made arrangements for him to go to Tampa, Florida, to be at the Florida-Georgia Line concert,
yeah,
to be on stage. And when he was on stage, the Independence Fund, along with Wounded Heroes, was presented a track wheelchair by Florida Georgia Line on stage.
damn,
And this guy is like my new best friend.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
How do you go back from that? You know what I mean?
he called me the day after Halloween in tears and said, "I want to thank you. I was able to take my children trick or treating, and I could go right up to the door with them."
That's amazing.
I mean, just
It's all those like that. How much a wheelchair cost? You know what I mean?
They're $10,000.
It's incredible how much all that stuff costs.
Right.
So for you to be doing that, it's just, and the hookup with the Florida Georgia Line.
I know,
Florida.
and I couldn't go because I
man.
wanted a guitar signed by the band. But
Oh,
what are
man.
you gonna do?
That's awesome.
Right?
What was it? I remember the flows thing. I believe I heard remnants of this. Like, there's always so much going on at these events. It's kind of hard to keep track exactly what's going on. And wow, man, that's so cool though.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
That's so cool.
Now he was going to be at the event tomorrow night, but he's actually an ambassador
Yeah.
for the Travis Mills Foundation, and he's
So it's
actually in
all tied
Texas
together.
this
Yeah.
weekend. Yeah, raising money for Travis Mills. Yeah,
What do they got going on there? Same type of.
it's some kind of an event that they're raising
Okay.
money for. I don't know.
Wow, so Canfield's a hike too. There's no.
Yeah, it's about an hour.
It's about an hour. It's no short drive, but I mean, compared to Texas, it's definitely
Yeah, compared to
a short drive.
Texas. Yeah.
I think we could take a quick pause. Hold on. All right, so we're getting kicked out of here, but it's cool. Man, I got train of thought. Anyway,
All your listeners out there, I want you to remember something. This is the land of the free because of the brave, and freedom is not free.
definitely not, and that's. I mean, even what you're doing now to help out our friends, our veterans that need help, you spend a lot just even in time cruising around, getting the tickets, and in time doing it. To wrap it up, I talk with a lot of musicians, a lot of artists, and it's a lot easier to a musician be like, tell me a time where you played and someone says you sucked, and you have to like, how do you get through that? So as far as like, I mean, just with everything you're going through and your like positive outlook and the drive to keep doing this, when's the time that stuff has gone wrong, and how'd you get through it? What's the like the philosophy, the mental space you got in to keep going and book the next gig, book the next event, and go around and collect the next round of donations?
I did a job interview once at the Hard Rock Casino.
Yeah.
And they asked us a group a question. How do you take a negative in your life and turn it into a positive?
Yeah.
And I said, well, my son got a leg blown off in Afghanistan, and instead of feeling sorry for himself and feeling sorry for him, we started a foundation to raise money for soldiers like him and other soldiers. And it was funny because the next guy said, I can't answer that question because there's no way I can compete with this answer.
Yeah, that's kind of...
And I didn't get the job, by the way.
What? What was the gig? What was the gig?
Maintenance at the casino, change the light bulbs and stuff.
They don't deserve that, man. Jeez. Overqualified is what they call that for sure.
Yeah, but it was pretty funny. I can't compete with that answer.
Oh, gee.
It was great.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, there's no coming back from that. I would be that. I'd walk out of the room, too, if I was that guy.
Yeah.
Well, Ken, thank you so much. I know you're going through a lot, and you got this huge event going on tomorrow, starting at 6 o'clock. This is going to be up tonight. I'm going to push this, try to get some people in here.
That sounds great.
There's going to be some good sounds.
St. Mary's Church, Berea, Ohio, 250 Craft Street, 6 p.m.
6 p.m. And any other ways, if anyone else wants to reach out to Wounded Heroes, how can we do
You can call me on my cell phone, 440-532-0486.
And is there any media, like social media or website?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm living in the 70s. I got a flip phone and the whole deal.
Keep it straight. Keep it right on there. Keep it. I know when he's here. I got a hold of him. And I do want to plug. I saw there was a GoFundMe for you for what you're going through. And I'll put all the details to that to help you with what you're going through. Because it's got to come back around, my friend. You've been helping out so much. But anyway, Ken, thank you so much for your time. Let's go get the speaker set up.
Thank you, David.